all the time. All right, y'all, let me make sure I'm in frame and everything. 1 second. 1 second.
$10 can help fund.
Okay. So, let me make sure y'all can hear me. So, first of all, hold on, let me put this on. Can't have dry lips while I'm talking because you know my lives can go a little long. So, what I want to do, if you looked at the title, if you got a notification, if you just scrolling and you see that I'm live, I want to talk about, does healthcare need a raise? Okay, I want to know. Hi, Nikki99. I want to know, do you think, not just nurses, but healthcare in general, do we need an increase? I need to know. If anybody is in healthcare right now, comment in the chat, I'm in healthcare, or I am, or do an emoji with your hand up. I need to know who's in healthcare. Sorry, getting my lighting together. Who is in healthcare that's watching right now out of the 20 people? Anybody that's in healthcare, comment in the chat. And while you're watching, give your girl a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, because I have about 3 million people that watch my videos each month, and I don't have the equivalent subscribers. So if you're listening to this and you watch my content and you're not subscribed, come on. I'm not going to bite you, but I appreciate you for watching my channel. So I need to know, before I can move on, if there are any people in healthcare, and if so, do you think that healthcare professionals need a raise? Come on now, don't be shy, y'all. Or, okay, put it like this. If you're not in healthcare and you think that, you know, everybody that works in healthcare needs a raise because they deal with a lot of stuff, you can put that in the comment as well. But I know out of these people that's watching, somebody is in healthcare. And I want to talk about, to start off, I want to talk about specifically, hello. Appreciate you guys. I was like, wait, where my people at? Usually y'all chime in. So, okay, maybe it was a delay or something like that. But if you're in healthcare, because it's 90 people now, and I only been on for like a minute, do you think that healthcare in general needs a raise? And I'm going to tell you, you said, how old am I? How old do I look? And don't hurt my feelings. So, hello, everybody. And the people from India, hello. Why I say, for me, I believe, yes, healthcare workers need a raise because hospitals make billions of dollars a year. They have, hello from Russia, they have several hundreds, if not thousands, of employees. So, of course, they can't pay them top dollar, but look at what the CEO makes. The CEO is a millionaire. So, when you look at, oh my God, I'm missing hellos. Okay. Hello. Thank you so much. Those who work directly with patients, yes, it means make a fortune already. Okay, Judy, yes. Um, so to go back to what I was saying, the CEOs make $1 million plus, and it's people that may work at a hospital or a nursing home that are like starting off at like minimum wage. I believe the hospitals now have bumped it up quite a bit, even for the people that work like in the little baristas for Starbucks and stuff like that. I think they even bumped everybody up to like a certain amount, like at least 10, 12, $15 an hour. Now, women don't need raises. Cooking should be enough for a raise, and cleaning and laundry. Tattoo installer, you just want me to call you out. And you probably don't have a woman in your life that's working. You probably never encountered a female nurse that took care of you, that made you feel comforted, that explained what was going to go on in your process if you ever went into a hospital or a doctor's office. So I'm going to let that pass, because everybody deserves a raise, especially when dealing with healthcare, because we have all different type of people with different attitudes, with different beliefs, just like yours, thinking that women don't need a raise. That I'm gonna keep whatever I was gonna say after that, because I'm not putting that on my channel. So I'm gonna let that go. Yes, okay. Keep the trash talk to yourself. Charlie, what pass do you need? Okay, so 225 people in here right now. So I believe that starting rates for healthcare employees could be better. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched, but I've recently posted on a short, there was a job advertisement, and it was for a CNA position, a certified nurse assistant position. It was an 8-week on-job training opportunity to work at this specific nursing home. And they started off with $20 an hour. London, you can get off my page with that. So with the $20 an hour, okay, put it in the comments. With the $20 an hour, is $20 an hour not enough for a CNA to make with no experience and they're getting trained on the job? Let me know. Is that too low? Do they need more? I'm not saying the people that have experience. Do you think $20 an hour is a good rate of pay for a brand new certified nurse? Well, not even a certified nurse assistant. It's a nurse assistant that's being trained to be certified for 8 weeks on job training, making money. I need to, no pass for you, Charlie. No. Ronnie is too low. It's not enough. Okay. Anybody else? Because I know what CNAs deal with, and it's trash. Nurses deal with trash too. Doctors deal with trash, but it's a chain of what the rate is, who gets more, who gets the most, and CEO is the top. Charlie, you about to get blocked from the channel trying to get a pass for the N-word. No, sir. Not on my channel. Mr. Nice Guy, 20, and I'm sorry if y'all wondering, I'm just looking at my laptop so that I can see what y'all are saying. $20 for 1 hour in Germany is highly underrated. Okay. All right. So, being new is a lot of grunt work and no appreciation. It is. It is. Okay, so since I got enough feedback, to me, what I believe, I get 22 an hour as an LPN. Okay, Laura. So my opinion, and you can disagree with me if you want to, because there are people that commented on that video where they said $20, or even the post, because I'll do a poll post, as well as I'll do my shorts, and I do it pretty much every day. So some people told me that they're not even making, they didn't start with $20, or they're just now making $21 and they've been a CNA for some time. Me, I believe that $20 to start is good pay to start. Now, I believe that when you have no experience, you're just coming off the street with no healthcare experience at all whatsoever, $20 an hour, and you getting on-job training to get certified at this specific place, I believe that is a tactic for, number one, the nursing home to get enough staff to cover. Number two, they're probably going to have you sign some type of contract to keep you there for a year or two. And number three, why not? You know, a lot of people complain about it's so hard to get into nursing school, but if you have, I guess CNA is the quickest way to get into healthcare if you're doing patient care at the bedside. But $20, I believe, is good to start with nothing, no experience. You fresh, say you come out of high school and you just want to get into healthcare and you used to getting paid, you know, $16, $17 an hour. I know because I have kids that are fresh out of high school and that's how much they get paid. And then you get a couple dollar increase or $3 or $4 increase just to be a CNA and you have no healthcare experience. I believe that that is a good rate of pay for anybody to start. Now, I do believe that CNA should make more, but my stipulation with it is it should be a little bit harder for them to get into that role to get paid more. Like nurses make more than CNAs, and well, RNs make more than LPNs to a certain degree unless you are agency or you're traveling, as well as they make more than a certified nurse assistant or a patient care tech. Now, I believe that anybody that does bedside should make a good amount of money because if anybody is in bedside, you tell me, you have to deal with, like I was saying before, different attitudes. You have to deal with patients that are afraid, but when they're afraid, they turn it into just being verbally abusive. You have to deal with doctors that don't have really good communication skills and they may just go at you and you didn't even do anything, but you didn't read their mind. You may have to deal with your manager or the charge nurse that is, you know, what do you say? How, you know, people have favorites. And some of the managers will give, or charge nurses, or whatever the case is, they may give lighter things to their friends. And then for the people that's not like up underneath their wing or kissing up to them, they may give them something harder to deal with, which is not fair. So, you know, in healthcare, you dealing with a lot. Everybody is short staffed. Okay, since the pandemic, a lot of nurses left their jobs, they went to travel, or they started working from home and then they're coming back to the hospital. Some physicians decided to retire and no longer work. There are people that want to do telehealth more or work for insurance companies as a nurse than to come in the hospital because COVID is up and down when it's coming. It's coming, it's going, it's coming, it's going, it's coming, it's going. And it's around still, kind of like the flu. So I believe in order to get that higher pay as a CNA, certified nurse assistant, number one, I think, okay, school should be a little bit harder to obtain. Well, not to obtain, but school should be a little bit harder to complete. So what I mean is you can't take a 3-week course and make $25 an hour. No, because there's some people like what's her name that just commented, Laura. She's an LPN getting $22 an hour, so that's not fair across the board. But we're going to talk about the increase in nursing next. So when I am okay, wait, let me go back. You can't compare a doctor's salary to a nurse because the nurse is the one that does all the job. Okay. I can't compare a doctor's salary to a nurse. No, I can't. But I can tell you, I made doctor money as a travel nurse. I did. What's ghetto, El Chris? It depends on how much you spend already in CNA classes. Okay, my nephew makes 22 and he works at fast food restaurants. Ronnie, I'm sure your nephew is not brand new to the restaurant. He probably is it in a state that pays more for the cost of living? Answer that. I'm making $23.50. Facility third shift starting at $15. Okay. Concrete facility. Okay. And he still got off. He just got off of high school. Okay. If you have experience, but you, what if you have experience, but you were paying less? Okay. So with the experience, um, there are going to be jobs that offer you a certain amount. If you have experience, don't be afraid to counter how much they can give you. Say you have 10 years of experience in that area and they give you less than what you're used to. You could say, well, this is not going to really work for me. And don't be afraid to walk away and apply somewhere else. Remember, this is healthcare. Everybody is short, everybody needs help. And it's okay to get what you're worth. If you have experience, you need to be paid for your experience. Okay. What is, oh, I read that. Brazil. Okay, from Brazil. Felicia, yes, Lord. You are so kind. Docs who don't have good communication skills, I said they're jerks. And I've worked with some that are just have little to no patience. And they're sweet one moment and then they're not. So it's like, okay, wait, what's going on? And even the doctors that I currently work with, everybody has different moods. Everybody, nurses, doctors, patients, nursing assistants, whoever, nurse practitioners. So everybody has their day, but it's some people that need to be called out on their attitude. And it's the way you could do it without being so harsh, because I've done it over the years of my nursing career. And I'm not afraid to do so, because if we have to work together, you need to talk to me in a way where it's not as you're talking down to me or trying to bully me into doing something that I don't feel comfortable with. Because you can still report doctors, they have bosses too. Okay. How much did you say you think CNA should make? Okay, Felicia, I'm getting to that. Shout out to all my moon crickets. I don't know what moon crickets are. But anyway, okay. So I believe that CNAs, I think a good starting rate for CNAs that, okay, let's just put it out there. $25 an hour is pretty good for the start of a CNA. Reason why, they deal, if you work in a nursing home, you deal with so much trash. And it's not that it's not a hospital setting, but they put more of a patient load in the nursing home setting. And I don't think it's fair. They usually pay the nurses more in a long-term care or a skilled nursing facility from hospitals, because they have more patients to take care of. They don't have that many resources like the hospital does. And it's unfortunate, because if somebody calls off, or if something goes around in the facility and everybody gets sick, you're short. And some places, they decide to bring in agency, and it's up to the agency nurses to pick up. If they don't want to pick up there because your facility has a bad rep, they're not going to do it. So $25, I think, should be the start for a certified nurse assistant. I'm going to get to nurses soon. But in order to get that $25, I believe that you shouldn't just, like I said, 3 weeks, 8 weeks to get it. No, you should be going to school to do multiple things to get in there so that you can have effective patient care. It's a lot of CNAs that are nasty, have no customer service skills, no bedside manner. It should be courses for that. And it's not. It's not in nursing. I'm sure it's not, because if it was, it would be a lot more people like that. It's some people that get into CNA because it's something quick. They can go right ahead, get into school, pay X amount of dollars, get a certification in a month, and start working because places need y'all so quickly. And they get into the job and they don't care about the patients. They just want the paycheck. I've shown plenty of videos that show that these people only want a paycheck. Now, for you to obtain $25 an hour, I think school should be at least maybe 6 months. And with the 6 months, no, let me see, no, CNA, no, yeah, let's do that.
I think school should be 6 months, because with that, you'll get whatever basic training you need. You need to do some type of customer service bedside manner classes that you have to check off of. Hopefully that's helpful. It may not be helpful for everybody, but this is needed because CNAs get the worst. And you have to train your mind to adapt to any attitude. Everybody can't do that. Nurses, doctors, everybody can't do it. I've seen it. But you have to either learn how to bite your tongue and still take care of that patient. And at the end of the day, that patient is going to apologize because they was being a butt munch, and you were still there and you kept your cool and you took care of them like they never even talked to you a certain way. Now, if they don't want you to take care of them, then hey, you could talk to your boss and say, hey, this person doesn't want me. Could I switch with someone? That is the case in sometimes. But you definitely need to have good bedside manner. That is not taught. You're taught how to do certain little things and you get a certificate. That's not enough. It's not enough, because these people get vomited on, okay? Everywhere they go. They get the worst. And then the nurse come in, and not all nurses are helpful, like how I would come in and I would help so that they can unload some of whatever they're doing, or we can do it as a team. Everybody's not like that. Some people think since they're a nurse, they're too good, and oh, I'm not going to help you because that's what the aides do. That's not cool, because that aid that you need, you're going to need in the future, and they're going to remember how you treated them. So when you need help with the patient, they're going to hide from you. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. They will hide from you if you treat them unfairly. So when you need something, you won't even find them. Exactly, very true. Because I've seen it done. So yes, definitely, I think that needs to be higher. The starting rate should be more, but you need to have those skills. Now let's get into like the LPN. Now the LPNs, I work with some at my current job, and the LPNs, for whatever reason, at this hospital, the LPNs are treated like nurse assistants to a certain degree, other than they can give shots, but they're doing the same thing as the nurse assistants in a clinic setting. Um, but it's like they can't do certain things because they're LPN, which is not fair. But I mean, if their paycheck is being cashed and is direct deposited, it's all good. Okay, hold on. What are your thoughts on CNAs in home care, and am I going off topic? You're not, Felicia. One second. Throw them signs. I'm not throwing up no gang signs. I just talk with my hands. Okay, so I'll come back to the LPNs in a second. So my thoughts on CNAs in home care, I think that's a good thing, because that helps you to be directly with a patient one-on-one, and it gives you time to really care for the patient. When you're in a nursing home or a long-term care facility, you have multiple patients, and you only have a certain amount of time with each patient to do certain things. When you're doing home care, you're going in, depending on if you spending a whole 8 hours with them, or if you're just going in to do things for 4 hours. However the case is, because I never worked as a CNA in home care, but I have done home care per diem when I worked in the ICU. So I think it's good because you get to know your patient. You get to be there, be caring, be loving, whatever additional things they need. You're doing it in their home. Now, it's definitely going to be a huge difference from going to the hospital, coming from somebody's home, and then you working in the hospital dealing with multiple, or working in a nursing home dealing with multiple. So yes, I think CNA and home care is pretty good. I would recommend that for people that want to do it. Okay, so let's get back to LPNs. So with LPNs, at some places recently, I've seen LPNs are now being hired in the hospital. For a while, they were not even accepted in the hospital for whatever reason. And they were in the beginning, and then they cut it off. And LPNs were in skilled nursing facilities like crazy. Okay, that was their stomping ground. They made money there. You know, it's people that I know that are still in skilled nursing facilities, and they make bank. You know, they may be per diem and picking up all these shifts, or agency and picking up all these shifts, but LPNs make RN money. LPNs make RN money on the hospital side, like, if that makes sense. So LPNs, let's say, RNs make, example, $40 an hour in the hospital. A LPN can make $40 in a skilled nursing facility. Now, the RN is going to make more in a skilled nursing facility too, because they have a whole bunch of stuff to do. And some facilities need RN so that they could do like TPN, drips, stuff like that. And they can't do it just with the LPN on staff. So they want to make sure that they pay their nurses $50 an hour or whatever to get them to work, to get them to be there, because the hospitals, unless you're in California or something like that, because California may pay $100 an hour for their per diems, but unless you're in a hospital that is just a higher cost of living, high cost of living state like California, $50 an hour is not going to be something that you're going to obtain as a new nurse. Absolutely not. No. You got to have some time under your belt, and you know, you'll get it. So hold on, let me make sure I'm not missing nothing. Climate rates of CNAs, DSCWs need to just maintain current amounts of patients in home and hospice elderly homes. Refuse to pay raise, tons of understaffed facilities. It is tons of them, and it's across the board. Like I said before, when COVID happened, you thought you was short staffed before COVID. It's horrible now because, you know, if you have experience, you can go wherever you want. You can move out of state, you can and work there. You know, you can pretty much, like I said, everybody is short. So if it's a job that you getting into and you know you don't like the dynamic, you could just quit and go somewhere else. Guaranteed, if you have experience and you applying for stuff while you're working, you're gonna get an interview, you're gonna get hired, and you're gonna tell your people 2 weeks notice, I'm out. So you know, the dynamic of healthcare has changed, and that's another reason why people should get a pay increase, because most of the time you're short. Things happen, people get sick, people call off, and a lot of the managers are trying to hold on tight to their staff, and they know their staff is trash. They know exactly what's going on, but maybe they don't have a budget to get more people, or maybe it's so hard to get somebody fired without evidence. I've heard it. I've seen it. As a manager in my previous role, I definitely had to go through that. So what I'll tell you is LPNs need to get more, because you know, somebody said $22 as an LPN. I'm not sure if you're still there, but how long have you been an LPN? And then when you look at RNs, you know, a lot of people think RNs are millionaires. We're not. We're not. You go to school with your LPN, you go to school for a year, you pass boards, you start working with RNs. If you get your associates, I got my associates. I went to a community college for 2 years. After I got my license, I went and got my bachelor's. It was a school affiliated with my community college. It took me 1 year. So a total of 3 years to get my bachelor's. Okay? So associates 2 years. 1 more year I got my bachelor's in nursing. And I was doing that while I was working. So, you know, as you go through, a lot of places look at what type of degree you have. Do you have your associates? Do you have your bachelor's? And what they do is, depending on if they're trying to reach a certain magnet status, they want you to have your bachelor's. It's a lot of community college nurses that have been graduates and they're not going back because they don't want to write papers. And they're pretty content with what they're getting. They have experience under their belt. They're good. It's some nurses that's out here that go to universities and they do the whole 4 years. Don't really get they don't really get experience until, of course, clinicals, but they don't really get the experience as what a community college nurse would get after her 2 years or his 2 years and then working. They have to wait the whole 4 unless they get some type of nurse intern, not intern, but what was it? Yeah, nurse intern or student nurse intern position, which that's contingent and you can work in between your schedule. So what I will say about RNs, it's some RNs that get paid less. I think did I do a video about that? I might have, or maybe that was on my old channel, but there is RNs that start off with 20 something dollars an hour. Brand new. Some places they gonna pay you what they pay you, and if you don't like it, you can always look somewhere else. If you have experience as an RN, I can't really talk about LPN because I just went straight for RN. If you have experience as an RN, look at your state. What you need to do is look at your nurse salary. Go to Google. Okay, y'all on YouTube. YouTube is a part of Google. Go to Google and Google your state salary for registered nurses, or your state salary for licensed practical nurses, or your state salary for certified nurse assistant. And you look and it'll tell you the range. So if you have an interview with somebody and you're an RN or any of them, CNA, LPN, RN, and you've already looked at what the range of how much you would make an hour is, and they're giving you the low end, it's like, okay, no, we can negotiate this rate, but I need more money. And if they don't budge, bye. Because most of the time, you're going to encounter, in healthcare, you're going to encounter a little bit of trash. And they don't tell you that in nursing school. They tell you, oh, it's a ray of sunshine. Hey, JD Fisher, it's a ray of sunshine. Everything is going to be perfect, and it's not. So you work hard, you pass boards, you start working, you learn on the job, because nobody knows everything. Not even the doctors. Nobody. As you're working, you get that experience. You don't have to stay in the same specialty for all your nursing career, because I didn't. I went around. I got my experience, and showing that you're a well-rounded nurse makes it better when you want to apply for something else. So I'm not saying work a job for 2 weeks, then go somewhere else for 2 weeks. Don't do that. But as an RN, it's no way that you should be making anything under $30 an hour in this day and time. In this day and time, to start as a novice, a new nurse, meaning under 5 years, 0 to 5 years. As a new nurse, when I was starting off as a new nurse, I made, because I worked midnights, so I believe it was like $30 and some change, and that was almost 10 years ago. So there needs to be an increase. Okay, JD Fisher. So after you pass school, nurse school, what happens next? When you pass nursing school, JD, depending on what's are you talking about RN, LPN? Which school are you talking about? But when you pass school, you take boards. So your whole time while you're in school, they're showing you how to pass the NCLEX for your RN or for your LPN. They're changing the way that you think, and they give you nurse judgment. So when you're taking boards, you are going to RN. Okay, so when you're taking boards, because you can't work after you graduate with your nursing degree, you need to be licensed to practice, if that makes sense. So when you're studying, you get your what is it called, authorization to test, I believe. If not, correct me in the comments. And then you submit that to your board of nursing, and you pay for your testing. You pick your testing time, And when you go through this, do not tell anybody when you take your test. Do not, because it's going to be people that be bothering you for no reason. And it's like, dang, you stressing me out and I got a test to take in the morning. Or you stressing me out and I got a test to take in the afternoon. You don't want to tell anybody because you want to go in there with a clear mind because it's timed. So when you're taking this time test, you don't want no stress other than the stress you may already have by sitting there and taking the test, because that thing is stressful and you don't want to take it again. So I encourage people, like when you take the test, you don't want to not keep up with your CEUs as a nurse, because you need to make sure you have a certain amount to keep you up to date. If you fall short of that, then you're going to have to take boards again, and nobody wants to go through that again. Okay, is the test long? Okay, so JD Fisher, the test is a time test, and it's consistent of thousands of questions that's generated in a computer. So you can take the test, you can, depending on how you test, your test can cut off at 75. Sometimes you still fighting with the computer to, if they can see if you're clicking on the correct questions. I believe the max is 265. If I'm incorrect, put it in the comment. So I'm trying to think, how long do they give you? Is it 4 hours? I forgot. I just, after I pass it, if it's somebody in the comments that if I said something incorrect about the time that you have long on the, taking the test, comment the hours. But I believe it's 4 hours. I believe it's 4. And out of those 4 hours, you read the questions. You have they may give you some scrap paper to do your medical math, but you go in there with nothing, no phone. You have maybe a pencil or a pen or something like that, but you go in there on your person. You have a locker to put all your stuff in. You are not bringing nothing in there because they don't want you to cheat. And you sitting there and you have your headphones on and you looking at a computer and you taking a test. Except after 185, you'll be asleep. No, you won't. Okay, anybody that has taken the NCLEX right now looking in the comments, you think you will be asleep? Let JD know if you will be, I can't even talk. Let JD know if you will be asleep while you taking that test. Somebody got a comment. Let me drink some water real quick. Nobody want to say if they'll be asleep? Yeah, exactly. No. That test is so intense because you never taken it and it's timed. So it's like you on pins and needles and you want to make sure you answer the correct thing. And it's going to, in the questions, there's going to be multiple answers that look like they're correct. So what you have to do is you have to pick what's the best answer. You see, you don't take that many. You may stop at 75. Exactly. Like I said, Juanita, you may stop. Hey, you may stop at 75. But when you stop at 75, because I'm going to tell you, from me, when that computer stopped at 75, my heart sank. I was like, oh my God, did I do bad? Did I flunk out? Because you can stop at 75 and pass, and you can stop at 75 and not pass. You won't know until either you do the little Pearson VUE hack, or for me, I just looked on the nursing website and my name was on there the next day. So I was just like, oh my God, thank God. I was just so happy. But if you're fighting against, say you're doing correct, then the next one is incorrect, and then correct, then it's incorrect. It's so many different parts of the NCLEX that you have to get a higher percentage in. And I don't remember the name of all subjects, but you have to rate above average for all of those. So if you're not hitting them right, the computer is going to see if you stay in the middle. Okay, well, maybe you're doing it right. Maybe you're doing this one's wrong, but this one is correct. So I'll keep going. It maxed out at 265. So I don't know if it takes 4 hours to do it, but you have 4 hours to take it. Yes, drop and drag. So NA, I'm trying to think. Okay, I had medical math. I had pharmacology questions. I had just general, what would you do first? I had select all and apply. I don't remember if I had any drop and drag. I don't remember that. Okay. Did I have any? I know they changed the NCLEX up after I've taken it, so I'm not 100% if they added more different styles of test, but the select all and apply was like the worst because it's like, okay, is this correct? Okay, yep. If you miss one, it's like in nursing school you'll get it. Select all and apply. If you miss one, the whole thing is wrong. With the NCLEX, I don't know if you miss selecting one of them, the whole thing is wrong. But if they teach you that in nursing school, it may be the same case. So, okay. Yes, I was so nervous when it stopped at 75 tests. Will re-ask a question topic if you're struggling with it. It sure will, and it'll reword it. The fortunate thing that I had was when I was studying, I had got this DVD that was a part of a book. Okay, you know they don't even do that anymore. But I had got a DVD that was a part of a book, and you know with this test bank, they kept the questions, but they just rotated the questions. So it's thousands of questions in this test bank for people to take a test on. And when I was taking my test, those questions from that DVD that was in a book were verbatim. I was like, wait a minute, is this for real? Is this serious? Like these questions are verbatim. I'm telling you, about 10 of them were verbatim what I studied on a DVD or a CD-ROM. I'm sorry, a CD-ROM in this book. And I kept that for a long time, but I think I've heard that they changed a lot of the questions in the test bank. You know, it's people that are on the committee to do test questions. I would love to do that, but they're on the committee to do test questions, and it's always a random, and it's always, if you get something wrong, they will ask you. They'll ask you another type of way of the question. So you're right about that, Juanita. Okay, you took it back in 2014. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I don't remember. It might have been there. I was just so happy that 75 and it closed out, and then my heart was pounding, and I was sitting in the car praying like, Lord, please. That will forget all of the test anxiety. It was still there after. It was like, okay, did I do good? Did I not? I don't know. So, okay. Let me see. You only had one of those. Okay. I think they added to it at the end of my test. It was like a mock test for possible changes. Okay. I didn't have any. I had to complete the entire NCLEX exam. I wanted to get up and walk away, but the Holy Spirit kept me in it and directed my answers. I passed first attempt. Thank you, God. Okay, not MSLA, Miss LA. I said MS. Okay, Miss LA. I'm glad you kept pushing forward and you listened. You listened to the Holy Spirit and you passed. Okay. No. Nope, I'm not even, can I remove this? I'm about to remove that because you doing too much. I'm not even going to say nothing about that. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Okay, so done with that. You also had 75. So tell me, for the people that took the test, when your machine cut off, when you saw the screen went black, did you panic, or was it just me? Because I know I panicked. I know a couple people I know panicked too, but did you panic? Oh, and look, hopefully everybody that's talking to me on here have subscribed to the channel. Y'all gave me a like. I'm so into everything that I'm saying. I usually kind of periodically say it, but go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. I appreciate the likes and the subscriptions, the subscribes, you know. Now, what I will say is I made a statement. Okay, let's just go back. I made a statement last week. Well, no, this week because it's Saturday. I made a statement this week to a doctor because I'm kind of new to the facility that I'm at, and I said, well, um, I made doctor's money, when I traveled, and he was like, I'm sure you did. It's like, some people, and I wasn't trying to be boastful, but it's like, don't look at the staff as you ain't got no money, because I know some nurses that have side hustles that make a pretty good penny. I mean, their staff job is not doing it. So, like for me, I'm a prime example. I work my, as you would say, my 9 to 5. I have an online scrub store. My husband and I have a creative space that we rent out on Peerspace for content creators, people that want to take pictures, to do photo shoots, to advertise their business. We host them, as well as YouTube. YouTube is a side hustle too. So in this world, when your 9 to 5 is not giving it to you, you go get it. You create something. You do a side hustle. You do another per diem job. You have to, because the cost of living is increasing, and not everybody's rate of pay is increasing. So, it's unfortunate that I'm saying that you have to have multiple jobs, even in healthcare, but sometimes you do. And it's because the pay may not be what you want it to be, but they should definitely increase it, because what did I say in the beginning? These hospitals are making billions of dollars a year. These insurance companies are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on things that patients are getting at hospitals, surgeries, um, just regular care, medications, treatments, chemo. It's so many things, radiation, it's so many things that cost so much money, and hospitals are getting to pay from insurance companies. So, what a lot of staff would get upset about, and I don't, even though I'm not traveling right now, I do want to go back soon because I miss having that weekly check. Hold on one second. What I will say is these. Ooh, why did I lose my train of thought? Okay, so what I will say is the hospitals do need to increase. They need to increase across the board. Across the board. There is nurses that are salary paid nurses, and maybe they work Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, or Tuesday through Friday, whatever it is. And they have a whole nother job because it's not enough. Now, what I will say, because I only have the one job, I don't have a per diem or anything. I used to when I traveled, just something to keep me going in between my contracts. What I will say is, when you are working and that one job is not paying all of your bills, then it's time for you to cut costs on what you got going on. It's time for you to cut, all of these subscriptions. If you're not watching Disney Plus or Netflix, or I think everybody watch Netflix. I don't know. I do. But if you're not watching Stars, all of these streaming platforms, and even when you're what is it? When your subscriptions that's online, like if you're using a certain app to help edit your videos and you're not even editing anymore, it's time to cut that off. If you have like a gym membership and you sitting at home not doing nothing with that gym. It's time to cut it. I did that before where I literally sat at home and I think that's $600 a month. And it was just automatically coming out because it was $20, $20 plus. And it was myself and my husband. We was just wasting money, just wasting it. We was just wasting it. So we end up getting equipment at home, working out. You got to cut the costs. Because healthcare, everybody in healthcare is not going to pay you what you're worth. Now, in a perfect world, you're going to work one job and it's going to be everything for you. But if you are working at one job, with the mortgage, with car notes, with electricity, water, gas, trash pickup, taxes on your home, stuff like that, it may not cut it. It might not. You may have to downgrade into an apartment or a condo. And it's sad because you're used to certain things, but either you're going to work your butt off to get this, to keep up with what you're doing, because when you start making a pretty penny, and I said this on the last live, when you start making a pretty penny that you're not used to, you start increasing on what you buying because you know you getting it every 2 weeks, and that should not be the case. It shouldn't be. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. People gonna do what they want to do anyway, but it's time to cut costs. It is okay for you to call AT&T or whoever you have your phone company with, Verizon, and say, hey, I'm thinking about, switching over to somebody else. Do you have a deal for me? Because I've been with y'all for X amount of years. What do you have? Guaranteed they want your money, so they're going to cut the bill down. With cable, if you're not using cable, cut it off. Your internet, that's a must because everything is online. So it's certain things that you can cut costs with. Car insurance. If you got all of these bells and whistles and you're not even using them, like for me, I have full coverage. But for my daughter, no, she got no fault insurance. I don't need full coverage for her. So you got to cut costs. But if y'all want to talk about something in particular, while I'm running my mouth, put it in the chat. Okay, I got to refresh one thing on my computer. 1 second, y'all. Put it in the chat if you want to discuss anything in healthcare. Okay. Oh, I needed to refresh because I'm missing all these comments. What was going on with me? Okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me read some of these comments. Okay. You need more chat moderators. Click on my name. You should be able to assign me as a I had to refresh. I don't know what's going on, JD, because I didn't see anything. It stopped at NA saying 75 questions. So that's my bad. I don't think I have enough people to do a chat moderator, to be honest. Let's see. To remove stuff. I got you. I did really bad or really good. Yes. Hey, little 16B. All right. For inappropriate comments, you can hold your person's message. Okay. So maybe I missed something. Or maybe that was when I was talking about somebody and I just removed them from my channel because I don't have time for that. And I know y'all don't have time for it either. So thank you for saying stuff in the comments, because some people just want to say something to get a response. And I'll say a couple of things, but then that's it. I'm not going to hold my whole life on that. Okay. Yeah. You could ban those people, at least from what I know, the chat moderator. Yeah, that's what I did for the one person. I just banned them from my channel. Okay. So YouTube has no requirement for mods. You can assign with one person in. Oh, for real? Okay. Well, I'm not. I guess I know that moving forward. But if anybody want to talk about things in particular, or if you want to discuss what you think healthcare workers should get, that's what I want to know from y'all. Because I'm running my mouth about it, but what do you think that a starting rate for CNA should be for a LP and for a RN? We can't really talk about doctors because I'm not in that scope. Or, well, NP, I kind of, if you see my video, I did go to school, took a few classes, but I dropped out. I will go back for my master's probably next year, but I'm not going to be an NP. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I have an associate's, but I don't want to go back for my bachelor's. I was thinking of doing nursing on the legal side. Have you heard of it? Will be legal nurse. I've heard of that. I know NA, you just got to reach out to the right place, because they just don't have like a Indeed post or Glassdoor post of legal nurse. They never really advertise, to my knowledge, because I've looked into it. They definitely want you to have nurse experience for you to obtain that job, but it's more so of you reaching out to those law firms, or if you go on a law firm and see if it's posted there, but they're not going to do a public post for a legal nurse. But I think it's something good, and it's something that will pay a pretty good amount. So wait a minute, NA and Juanita, y'all got the credits. Okay, Juanita, you got the credits to go back, but you don't want to go back. I don't know why you hesitant either. Juanita, all that knowledge you got. Okay, this is what happens. And in NA, to make yourself look more profitable to employers, especially if you want to do the legal side, they want you to have a bachelor's to start. If you have a master's, perfect, right? If you have a doctorate, perfect. But if you want to look appetizing to a law firm about being a legal nurse, and maybe, not saying that they do, but maybe their other legal nurses that they've had in the past or they currently have bachelor's minimal, you need to go back to school. Juanita, ma'am, stop being hesitant, because the only difference from your associates going into a bachelor's is more papers. You're just writing papers. You're doing discussion posts. You can do this online. Okay, I did an online class, my online classes, as I worked to get my bachelor's. But you're literally doing papers. You do a PowerPoint presentation. You're doing papers. It's simple. It's simple. So, but if you're afraid of doing papers, not saying that you are, get a little practice somewhere. And then the colleges, they have people to help you if you don't know, if it's been a while since you've written an APA style paper. There are people there to help you. As tutors there, they have certain little workshops you can do. It's stuff on YouTube that can help you. So do not hesitate. Get your bachelor's, okay? You got the credits. Get your bachelor's. I mean, of course, you probably... No, wait, let's pause. You said you have all of your credits to go back for BSN. You just hesitant. So, yeah, but look, do your research, Juanita. Do your research, because, like I said, when I had my associates, I literally went to school because the school that was affiliated with my community college, they took my community college credits. So see if these schools take your college credits from another school. They also gave me credit because I passed board, so that was more. And then I literally, if I wouldn't have taken the summer off, I literally would have had my bachelor's in like 9 months. But I took the summer off because I wanted to enjoy myself, and, you know, why not? I think I got married. Did I get married I got married that summer. So I took the summer off because planning weddings and all of that stuff. So, yes. But Juanita, I'm gonna need you to keep me posted on your not process, but your journey for your bachelor's. Because I know you can do it. Stop waiting. You can do that. You got this. So do your research. And if you don't want to do it in the fall, do it next year. I'm going back next year to get my master's. You go back next year to get your bachelor's. That's what I say for you, Juanita, and keep me posted. Okay. Hunter, Miss Hunter. I just left high school last year and I'm planning to go to the medical field. I wanted to go to college and study to become a doctor, but I'm not sure about the payment. I did some research, but I'm still not sure. So I don't know about the payment for being a doctor. It's a lot of school. I will recommend looking for grants for doctors. Um, there are grants for, I don't know what your nationality is, but they have grants for minorities. They have grants for women. They have grants for you going into medicine. So definitely do your research for sure, because in order to be a doctor, you got to do your undergrad, and you got to do grad, and then it's a lot of money. It's doctors that are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and a lot of them couldn't work while they were in school. So they were living off student loans, and that's probably why, like, they got all of this school, they couldn't work, so they maxing out their student loan amount that they can get, and they're living off of it. I've seen that done in nursing too, so it's no difference. Some people don't work in nursing school. They max out their student loan debt, which is not good because they got to pay it back when they get done with nursing, um, and go from there. NA is nothing to think about. You got this. Okay? You got this. Okay. I have researched it, found 2 schools, made sure they take my credits, not sure what's holding. Juanita, can you see my arms crossed? Let me look at my computer. Yes, Juanita. You found 2 schools and they take your college credits. So okay, tell me this, Juanita. What's the um how much longer do you have to take their course to get your bachelor's? Did you do that research? Do you have to take a year? Do you have to take 2 years? If they take your college credits, how much more school do you need? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just scratching in my head because when I get done with this, I do something to my hair. It's itchy. It's time to wash it, and I need to color these grays. So bear with me, y'all. you know, do be a provider. It's non-nursing. It's a physician's assistant. A lot of people become PAs that want to be doctors and go from there, because in order to be a PA, can you hear me and see me? Hold on 1 second, y'all. You know what? Every time with this live, come on now. You know what? Every time. Okay, I need to make sure that y'all can see me because I don't want to talk to no black screen. So let me see. I may have to restart this live, y'all. Hold on, let me. Okay, I need to make sure that y'all can see me because I don't want to talk to no black screen. So let me see. I may have to restart this live, y'all. Hold on, let me. Okay. I'm gonna restart this. So if you're not already liking the channel, and I mean not liking, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe really quick because I'm gonna restart this. Okay, I'm gonna restart this. So be on the lookout. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button so that I can restart it and you can see this alert. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm coming right back.